Hi everybody, this is your reading for Wednesday the 19th of April. Thanks for joining me. I'm using the Druidcraft deck, which I have to shuffle very carefully because the card is so big, or at least this edition of the deck is huge. So let's have a look at what's coming up today. Wow, okay. Okay, so the Six of Swords is really serious. It's a family kind of fleeing. I mean, they look very well put together, but often it's almost like being a refugee. It's about really just fleeing a situation, getting away from it, and trying to find some safe land on the other side. In this case, it's far more luxurious. It's kind of, these two have decided to, you know, they have weapons, they have resources, they are going to find their fortune abroad or something like this. So it's far more positive in this case, but we have this shadowy kind of unrecognizable boatsman who doesn't tend to give away the secrets or information on his passengers. So there's still this little bit of, there's an air of kind of covertness to this, okay? It's in reverse. So what that's saying is that there isn't some journey that you have to accomplish that's out there that needs to be fixed. The journey is internal. It's an inside job today, not an outside job, okay? A lot of people hate that because it's much easier to go feel better by having a massage and hot stone therapy and aromatherapy, because that cleanses your spirit and takes all the negativity out and someone else is doing all the work, than it is to sit down and to meditate and to do a personal inventory, because you have to do the work. I'm being a little bit facetious here because I'm making fun of the work-shy people, but the other thing that's genuine and truthful, a lot of people struggle with getting honest with themselves, you know? A lot of people really can't sit down and feel certain things because they are unresolved, you know? Things like self-hatred, anger, they sit there, they're not resolved, and sometimes you need the help of a professional. Sometimes you can pray for that person, but it's so important to connect with ourselves, you know, because we are really the driving force of our lives. We're the ones who are special and unique, and if we're empowered, then our lives become special and unique. But if we're not facing ourselves or not dealing with certain things, then the landscape of our lives becomes different. So this card is saying to go inwards and to see where the opportunities lie within. If you find that difficult, then ask for help, ask your guides, God, angels, your guardian angel. Ask them, please help me. I need to look inside today to see what's really valuable, how I can move ahead, how I can get out of this situation that may be making me feel stuck, and how I can personally progress in my life, and how I can be courageous and abundant and prosperous and successful and driven. And I need some help with that, please. You can add an amen if you want. The next card is the Three of Swords in reverse. This is heartbreak, loss, and betrayal. Thank goodness it's in reverse because there's none of that going on today. There's no external stuff that really keeps you from this inner journey. Well, there's nothing significant that keeps you from this inner journey. There's no finding out that your girlfriend has been sleeping with the local hairdresser for the last 5 years. There's no finding out that you've got some you've got to leave your house in 2 weeks. There's no major crisis. What there are trivial crises and trivial problems and trivial activities and people inviting you, maybe people squabbling with you about trivial, stupid stuff. Oh, you didn't get the milk at the store. How could you forget? You're always so thoughtless. Or people asking you out. Let's go to the beach today. Let's go to the cinema. Let's go on a day trip. Let's do something fun. Nice, but trivial and fun and not meaningful. Okay? Because that day, yes, you'll remember it because you'll have a nice memory and things, but you won't have been productive. And the message here today is that you have a kind of respite from your own inner fears and your own inner blockages, the things that really you are unwilling to look at within yourself, the things that really keep you from accessing your true power. You have a respite here today in terms of getting in touch with those things. You can travel within. The journey isn't to the other land over there, it's inwards in the water. So you can find your inner truth. The swords all point at it, and these swords that usually stab you in the back or go through your heart like swords, and that wound you, they're not about wounding you today. They're about thoughts, and they're about guiding you in the right direction. And if you clear out the inner stuff, the inner world, then, and I want to find a phrase that really encapsulates this, because the inner landscape is responsible for the outer landscape. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. This is the one thing that I've learned in my 35 years on this planet. If you're miserable and ungrateful and mean-spirited internally, your life will be tough, and other people will be mean-spirited, and you will have poverty in your life. Okay, that's just the way it is. If you're joyous, if you realize that you'll be provided for, if you're fun, if you're a great friend, then your life will look rich and abundant. Because the thing is, there's one thing in the Bible that really actually is true, and which I always thought about, which look at the birds. Look how the Lord takes care of the birds. They don't have to worry about food and shelter. It's all given to them. And they're the birds. And this is how much God loves the birds. Imagine how much he loves you. And I always thought, well, if God loves me so much, then why is my life so flipping hard? And the reason I was thinking that is because I was in the ego, and I was doing things that really weren't aligned with my true self. And if I had been listening closer to God or the universe and what he actually wanted me to do, I would have been like those birds, and I would have been protected and safeguarded. But like I said, sometimes it takes courage to listen to the inner message. Sometimes it takes courage to go to these painful places from our past. And sometimes it's also painful to consider having to make changes, because that means that your whole life has to alter, and sometimes that takes energy, or you don't want to do it for whatever reason. But on this day, please go within, do the inner journey. You will be rewarded with the opposite of heartbreak, which is love and fulfillment and ideas and insights and inspirations. 6 and 3 is 9, and 5 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5, and 5 is about freedom. So on this day, it's about intellectual, emotional freedom, especially when it comes to yourself and your relationship that you have with yourself. So you don't need to be run by your own fears, by your own character flaws, by your own defects. If you have social anxiety, your life is going to be run by that social anxiety. Your life is going to look very small, and it's going to not include a lot of people. When you do the work to get over social anxiety, you're free from that, and your life gets bigger, and you can live it the way you're meant to. That's what this day is. It's an opportunity to amend the faulty belief that's taken root within, to uproot it, to get rid of it, and then to heal it, and to really make progress in the future. And to enjoy that freedom long-term, permanently. Emotional and intellectual freedom. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. If you would like a private reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. If you have any questions about your love life, or when you'll meet the soulmate, or what the right kind of partner is for you, you should be looking for, what your life purpose is, what's coming up money-wise, if you're interested in the health, in your health, or what's coming up for you in your family life, then please get in touch with me for a private reading. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. Please remember to subscribe, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.